Well, the webbot prediction kind of went and it's not like something really major didn't just happen. It's you can't see it, and you won't see it because you can't comprehend it. And you really have to get yourself into a completely different mindset to see something you can't comprehend. And right now, us humans are going to do what we do best. We observe an amazing tool and an amazing ability, and because we can't understand it and it sort of failed the first test, we're going to throw it out. Or we're going to constantly try and push it to be what we want it to be. The intention experiment is very, very similar. If you go and look at that group, you would think, you know, anybody involved in an intention experiment, you'd see a really amazing group of people. I never met such a bunch of judgmental, angry, I could not stand to even be in an internet post board with the people that hang out on a website that's all about an intention experiment, who's experimenting on trying to create peace in the world. They don't realize how much work they're doing creating war, but they can't see it. And even just the suggestion, you know, brings out the evilness in them. By the name calling and the anger and the fear that comes up with just a conversation. It's just words, it's just a concept, it's just an idea to gain information so that we can improve on what it is that we've observed as could be a cool tool. Same thing's going on with the webbot. I'm saying, okay, the big event didn't happen, so this thing must not mean anything. And it's like, no, it showed you who you are. Life shows you your capabilities that you do not understand yet. And it's like, what did it prove? And this is what just happened with the webbot could be your evidence to see exactly what's going on in the world today. And it is just by looking at Cliff's high little Colleen crazy. And you know who's all Colleen crazy? I mean, who has the identical same behaviors would be all judges. It doesn't matter what court you go into, but or what country, it doesn't matter where you are on this planet. If you are a judge, you got the same thing going on as Colleen Crazy and Cliff High. It is the same freaking game. You are going to think you can observe something enough to give a report of, hey, this is what's going on. A judge thinks that he can look at evidence and hear a story and be objective enough to tell the difference between, oh, you must be innocent and guilty. We aren't seeing from a bigger picture that a judge decides what's relevant and what isn't relevant. And let's face it, they're all friggin' rich, and you know, they all earn money off of, you know, stocks and bonds and investments, because that's what we do when we're rich, is put your money into savings, and these savings are always invested in our corporate world. So whether they like it or not, they are subconsciously tied to follow the rule of law that keeps this guy rich, which will influence on what any judge is going to think is a relevant piece of information when making a decision between who's innocent and who's guilty. And I mean, it's my own personal experiences that, hey, I want to know what the hell is going on. Yeah, I know more than anything that if you look at something and tell a story about it, it's going to be your perception of what you think is going on over what is actually going on. you're going to see through the eyes that you are looking at. And this is one thing that really caused a lot of problems with me, because I could see patterns within people, which means I can see what's going on with you, which means, you know, if people had problems and came and talked to me, I would tell them what their solution is, because they would tell me. They just didn't see that they could tell me. And I have had a lifetime of people attacking me for just giving my opinions about what's going on. And it's like, these are people in my life that have come and told me what their complaints are. At the same time they're telling me what their complaints are, they're also saying, I wish it could have been this way. You know, they would tell me why they got this complaint. So they would always tell me what the solution is, because they have a wish of what they think would be a much better thing to experience. And they also gave me great detail of what the problem is. So if I just throw, well, why don't you just do this, because that's what you just told me, it's offensive. So naturally, people over my lifetime, being 51, the knowledge that us humans have that we perceive what's going on inside has been something that's been, you know, judged what was going on with me. So it's really, really hard. You know, it's like seeing dead people. You know, I don't see dead people, but I trust there are people on the planet that can see dead people. It's very explainable. We all have that capability. Just some are showing signs of our capabilities first. So, you know, whatever it is that I'm experiencing, we all have this. You just don't know it. And I think partly how I figured this one out is because I've been in the victim mode my entire life, you know, beaten when you're a kid, and, you know, married, the same abuse, and I would be in that position. So the universe has constantly always told me that I was the one that's wrong, and making me feel like I'm the one that's doing something wrong. So I've always been the one that's looking at things from an objective point of view, that I'm always wrong. So, but on a subconscious level, it's like, but I know I'm right. You know, it's, I have been the black sheep of the family, which I think anybody that's a black sheep kind of sees a different picture, that you just can't communicate with the other side what it is you see. So in order for me to kind of really gauge what's going on in my world, I have to understand, am I right or am I wrong? Is it my perception or is it yours? You know, and then being able to distinguish it. So that's why I had to sort of find the science that explains, okay, how is it that you can judge what's really going on? Because just like this web bot, this guy is a linguist. I won't say the word, but he studies words and what they mean. So he really just doesn't have the connection that words are just an attachment, a description, just a way of communicating an observed behavior. To notice that you have a behavior, to be human is to judge, and then think that you're going to try and stop judging. It's sort of like, you, in order to be successful at judging or controlling judgment, is you have to make yourself as less human as possible, because to be human is to judge. The thing is to be able to judge correctly, know when it's coming from you, and know when it's coming from outside, and when are you seeing the truth. And it is all based on your belief systems. So if you just examine your own belief systems and see what is it that you do want to believe in. And the biggest biggest lie, and it's like, it's the most crazy thing in the world, that I dare anybody to have the conversation with me, but it seems like it's the death lie. You've all seen everybody die. You know, to be human means to die. You live and you die. The only experience we've ever seen of anybody not dying is Jesus, but we want to believe in Jesus, but we don't want to believe in Jesus. So that's a little fucked up, but you have the example of something. It's like deep down we have a memory of something, but what could that memory be? Well, who is the biggest guy that we're all trying to fight about? Just believe in this guy. Oh, the one and only guy that didn't die. He ascended, you know, so it's like, but the whole universe has been trained to believe that you're all supposed to die. And Cliff High also said, while he's trying to be objective, it's odd that in the same 5 minutes of his life, he also revealed the other rule in his life, that everything must die. And that's how things move. And it's funny that Deepak Chopra is meditating on death since his father died. And he then is in an interview saying, if we solved every problem known to the human experience, we'd be mummified mummies. So there's two totally different minds that think they know what's going on as they judge and report the data to us from their findings. And now, you know, Deepak Chopra is writing books on, hey, accept death. Everything seems to be more about, you should accept death. Death is a good thing. It feels so much better than this experience. You know, be at one with death. There's more talk convincing you and like hypnotizing you into that death card. Why? You know, but if you perceive your whole entire reality on, okay, the whole goal is not to die. The way we are living is actually killing us. You know, like if we found the science that can actually reverse all illnesses, this guy's been curing every illness known to man for over 20 years. And basically, if you condense it all down, it's all about your beliefs. Your beliefs create your behavior. Behavior creates the environment. The environment is then going to constantly kill you by whatever addiction you got. I got smoking. Guess what? Anybody that's dying's got an addiction too. So don't point the fingers at me, because now I know proof positive that if you're dying, you got some shit in your backyard you ain't looking at. It's a proven fact now. It's not like I can predict or I can am I projecting something from me? No, it's like I've developed a belief system that now gives me a default of, I can judge what's really going on based on that one belief. And so I can see if the webbot is going to view things from a perspective that we all got to die. He's going to be wrong on his data reporting because he's judging things a little wrong. If a judge in a court thinks that he's got a down pat, you know, just to not see everybody innocent, because everybody's innocent. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. I mean, logically, I've never made much sense out of that, but to kill a human being, you have to be insane to do that. You know, that should be a defense right away. I committed the act must mean I'm insane. But for some reason, we've justified that there is some sanity, acceptable sanity. You chose to do that, so therefore it's okay and healthy. That is our insanity right there, is that we cannot tell what insanity is yet. But to kill a human being means you're insane. You got, you know, there is your defense, and you need to get well. You need to get healthy and not, you know, tortured and shown more hate, and let's create that mindset to be even worse, and then we're going to let them out into society and think it's safe. Yeah, you need that security because you're creating monsters thinking that you are the one that's right while you're judging your society and how you create a criminal. You know, if you got something to fear, there's a reason. You're creating something to fear, and it's because it's a lack of love. And it all starts with love for self. So, start with you. Peace out.